Hello there and welcome to the second episode of our new vlog series, the Studio Project. As I mentioned in the first one, and if you haven't seen it already, you should check it out. I put a link in the description box. We went, my wife Anya and myself, we went to Vigo in Spain last week, from the 11th till the 15th of May, to meet Philip Newell. And Philip Newell is, as I mentioned in the first episode, is really a legendary sound engineer. And I talk about him in a minute or maybe in the next vlog. There's so many things to tell about him. And he is working actually since the 80s as designer of professional studios, recording studios, music recording studios. And since we're thinking about building our own recording studio and having our own record label, it's obvious that we very much looked forward to this meeting. And actually, we stayed 4 days in Vigo in a very nice hotel, by the way, thinking that a man of his fame and his status would spend only a few hours with us, visiting maybe one studio. But it turned out differently in the way that Philip was really so generous, so enthusiastic, and there was really not the smallest sign of what kind of boundary between us, and he took so much time. He really spent 3 days with us. We visited 2 studios. We had long conversations, and not only about music or music studios or recording or equipment, but about everything. And really the last night was on Thursday evening, yes, the 14th. We had a really very nice dinner. So it felt as if we knew each other for decades. So it was a really overwhelming experience, and I will show you some video while we're talking. Anya filmed very much, really hours of video, and I'm thinking about the way I can share this with you, because it's interesting in a way that it covers many topics. Too much to be covered in this video. You know, we went there with a lot of answers, with a lot of questions, and we got many answers, but many questions in return as well. We saw professional recording studios. We talked with Sergio Castro, which is actually one of the first customers of Philip. We saw this studio he built in the 80s, and actually was the reason that he went to Vigo and stayed there for living. We went to another studio. We had also a long coffee with Sergio, who eventually became Philip's co-worker, answering all kind of questions, analog, digital, from the previous episode, that we really would like to make vinyl recordings, and that we have a studio tape recorder in Switzerland that's being currently restored at the moment as we speak. They have all experience with that. They know the equipment. I came in a world of real professionals, and there was not a discussion about this is better than that equipment is better than this. They just worked with it, and you could feel that they have both Philip and Sergio, but obviously we spend more time with Philip, so they both actually have such an oversight of what's requested and what's necessary and what's not necessary. So we went back home really, as I said, overwhelmed with information, and our heads were really full of that. So how to cover that in this vlog series? I think I will make another one. And by the way, I will try to regularly upload these videos as we do now with the, of course, since a long time with the music recordings. Obviously, that's the main focus. We do that the 1st, the 10th, and the 20th. But then we have the afterthoughts vlogs, which are recorded minutes after the music recordings, and they've been uploaded. And I make it, and I think that I can make it of making that really continue that 2 days after the music videos. So the 3rd, the 5th, the 3rd, the 12th, and the 22nd of each month. And I will try to make these studio vlogs the 7th, the 17th, and the 27th. So there's a little bit of division, but I have to see if that works out, because together with the music recordings, these vlogs are taking up quite some time. I like doing it, excuse me, but it must be possible, and I rather make fewer episodes than really forcing me too much. The focus must remain on the music videos. So one of the next vlogs, of course, we have to talk about Philip Newell. He is too interesting a person not to talk about, and he shared with us so many anecdotes. Really, yeah, sometimes as a musician you think, boy, I should have lived in the 70s or in the 60s, But anyway, that's for another vlog. We saw these professional, really well designed, both acoustically but also in terms of construction and isolation. We saw the control rooms with the huge monitors. We were able to experience the level of clarity that these monitors could give. So we really understood what the importance of if we would proceed with this idea, building our own recording studio, we have to do it very well. So that will be a topic for a next vlog as well. Philip talked about this, so we will I know filmed some of these elements, so we will I will include that in next videos when we talk about what it requires to build a professional recording studio. We'll talk about that. We will talk in one of the next vlogs also about the property we have here, a kind of barn next doors that can serve as a recording studio. So I will show you pictures about that. And I thought I'd just mention some elements we saw in this vlog. It's really too overwhelming to go into detail. So you really have to stay tuned for next vlogs when we go into detail. We will also return into the past. I don't know yet when. We start with that, as I said in the first video, just to discover what the answer could be in general on the fact that a musician like myself would want his own music studio, recording studio. And of course that has to do with midlife crises, but I think I'm in a constant midlife crisis, I don't know if you have, that feeling that but I have it since I was 15 or 20 or so, that just the time, feeling the time that's available, and that's of course restricted, and there's so many things to do, and that might sound as a midlife crisis, and probably it is in some kind, but the urge to really create my own spot, my own island, where I can come and others can come. We'll talk about that with our recording label, but that would feel very great. Really, an environment where you can actually 24 hours, 7 days a week go in and make recordings. Is it for vinyl or CD or high resolution digital audio over YouTube, and not being disturbed by any noise, traffic noise, that kind of stuff. really focusing on what really matters, that would be great. It might be just jumping too far, that we don't know yet. We don't know what prices are, what really is requested for in detail for building the studio. We don't know yet if we are allowed to do it. We live here in an area that's agricultural area, but obviously we are now farmers, so the destination of our house is, as they call that here in Belgium, not aligned, how should I say that, aligned with what we are doing. So, and moreover, the environment here is quite beautiful, so it's not protected, but it's more difficult here to do something with buildings other than the ones you're living in. So these are all questions we have to solve before even knowing if we can proceed. But anyway, the way is maybe more interesting for the moment than the goal, the actual studio. So we talk about that later. As I said, in the meantime, I will have shown you some videos, some pictures. Certainly the videos about Philip and about the studio, we will go into more detail later in next vlogs. But for this moment, I really wanted to share with you some feeling of the experience we had last week, which was really, really, really well worth spending the time and the money to travel to Spain. It is, as I see it, if you want to go forward, to move forward in your life with whatever you want to do, I think you also have to move physically. It helps. And certainly, if you want to do something like this, you would want to talk with the people that are capable of helping you of doing this. So that's all coming up in the next vlogs. As I said, every 10 days, as long as I can keep up with the tempo of recording and publishing. And stay tuned. I thank you for watching. I thank you also for your subscription. That's really important for the YouTube channel. It keeps me, how should I say, it gives energy if I see the channel grow, knowing that the information I give to you can be of some kind of benefit, of help to all of you or some of you. So please stay tuned. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for your time for listening and watching this video. And I see you next time again with more news from Vigo and the recording studio. Thanks. Bye.